Everybody back for another episode. So on this episode on the wagon, we're not going to do anything. And I'm going to tell you why. We're actually going to work on the truck on this one. So let's take a look at what we're going to do.
No, you're not bringing home another piece of junk.
Alright, so here's where I left the wagon. My poor 15 I ordered still not here, so I can't paint the frame. I did get my paint for the firewall. Somebody recommended this Seymour paint, which I've never tried, but I got really good reviews, so been around since 1949. We're going to try it. This is the color. This is the color that's going to go on the firewall, and it's pretty close to that blue, so that's what we're going to do. But I cut my ball joints off of this, took the control arm bushings out. They sent me 4 control arm bushings, 1 the right size, 3 the wrong size. So I'm kind of stuck on this thing. So we are not going to mess with the wagon on this episode. But I have been driving the truck around, driving it to several car shows, having a really good time with it. And it needs some refinement. So a couple of things it needs. One is a tailgate. I've already hauled a couple of things with this, and it's like I need some sort of tailgate. And my wife was like, well, just get you one of those, remember the old air gate they used to put back there? The old big rubber band thing. It's like, nah, I don't want to do that. So I got these doors. That's what we're going to do. In this episode, we are going to make a tailgate out of these, the bottom halves of these doors. So a few things I want to do. I don't know if we'll get all done in this episode. I want to make a tailgate. I want to lower this thing in the back. It's kind of got a rake to it. We're going to pop a couple of leaf springs out of that thing. What else did we want to do? There was something else I wanted to do to it, and I don't remember what it was. Whatever it was, it'll get done. So, all right. First thing I'm going to do is let me drag these things outside, get my electric DA out, and I want to knock the paint off this thing. So let me do that, and then we'll show you where we're going with this. All right, so I want to strip the paint off all this door if I don't need to. So I want to go, let's go 2 feet. And then if we need to trim a little more, we need to, but I'm not going to worry about stripping off this window frame when I just really don't need it. So we're going to be that right there. And that gives me a little fluff to cut off. So we'll go there. We'll go 2 feet over here. There's a, I'll just earball it. Up there. Alright, we'll strip that much, and then we'll take a look. Alright, so I got the paint stripped off the front of these. Sorry for the noise, compressor's running. So let's go ahead and flip these over. We got a bunch of brackets and gaskets and all this old junk to get off before we start go to the next step. So let me do that, and then we'll take another look. Okay, so why did I cut the skins off those doors? Because I don't want a tailgate that thick. Because you lay it down and you're gonna have, it's gonna be a hump that big, which the way this thing's gonna be made out of doors like this, it's not gonna lay flat anyway, but I can get it thinner and flatter and strong enough to where, not weight supporting, I don't think I'd sit on it, but just to where we can have something to hold things in there, and we can lay it down to slide things in there. So we're going to take these skins like this. Now we're going to get them to stay up there. Put a little tackle a little longer. First I want to see how they're going to fit. Together in the ones here. And that should fit. It is going to work. I probably need to drag my welder over here. Figure out how I'm going to do this. Maybe if I just lay these flat and put a flat edge on these and tack them together into one piece, that might be the best way to do it. Let me try to do that and see what that looks like. Just lay these flat. Yes. Like that. I'm just gonna have to block them up with something to make sure that I've got they're not bowed in the middle. So we can make that work. Let me drag my welder over here and we'll try that, and we'll try and set it up there again and see what we got. All right, let's see if we can make this work. Good. Our wind's blowing out here. It's blowing my gas. that does. I might have to tack it on the truck. Go from there. That's a loser to handle. That does fit, and it fits the opening. Okay. I like the looks of that. Alright, so next thing I'm about to do is take some square tubing and make a top rail here. And we're gonna have to cut this out where that latch used to be. Have to notch these out in the back. And I want to get, maybe we'll get that top rail tacked in place on the truck itself. And then nail this to it. Is that what we want to do? Yeah, I think it is. Alright, let me see what I got for steel to make a rail out of this thing. That will get some more rigidity. Alright, back in a few. Alright, let's see what we got. That piece of 1.5 inches up there, and now I'm going to do some trimming on the back of this thing. And we're going to have this to where it'll fit that. Get it tacked on there, and then I think we can cut this loose. That should stabilize it. Let me do some cutting on this. I'll be right back. Alright, now let's see what we got. Alright, not bad. cut this and re-tack it up a little bit and get it to be in good shape. Then you can clamp this to this, tack this dude all along there. And then it's just a matter of building some more framework for this thing and figuring out a hinge system for it. I've got some of the old door hinges. Maybe we can make some hinges out of that. Anyway, let me fix this real quick. Where's my Googles? Hey, neighbor dog. I love dogs, especially other people's dogs. I don't have to feed them. I just gotta be their buddy. Let me get all this lined out and ready to go in there. Let's plug over here. Everything ready to go. Pull my welder over here some more. Can't do all this with one hand. Put this there. Put this here. Put this here. That should be good. In the last video, I asked folks what they might want to see different. Who it was, they'd like to see more of the work instead of just before and after, so that's I'm going to give you on this one. That's fabulous. I like it. So, I'm not even gonna... I want to put a spacer under the bottom of this thing, so it's just not touching this. Actually, no, that's not what I want to do. Let me take a little bit off the top of this thing. Let's just freehand it. That'll be better. Still rolling? Oh yeah. Okay. Let's see what we got. Oh, much better. Much better. Okay. Looks like exactly what I want. And we are just going to go along here and tack this thing. I'll plug that in. Ugh, I guess not. So there's a lot of holes to fill. I need to fill these, and we're gonna let's figure out some bracing for the back. Probably should have left that bottom lip a little thicker than what I did. But, alright. I got some 1-inch square tubing. Maybe we'll do that. And build a framework from the bottom. And shit metal on the inside. But, I like it. I do. Alright. So let's hang that up for today. And I'll do some finish welding on this. And we will pick this back up tomorrow. Okay, so we are back on this. And I went ahead and welded all the way across this seam, all the way down this seam. So I'm still got to grind that down. So what I'm working on today is I want to get some hinges made before I cut this thing loose. So we're going to get some hinges. I got some pieces cut out to build them, kind of figured it out. I'm going to come off this bumper bracket, and here's what I'm going to do. These aren't hot still. Okay. So that is a 7/16 grade 8 bolt, and that tubing is a piece of 46 Dodge steering column tubing, same tubing I use to make my motor mounts for the Wagon and some other motor mounts. So this fits in here really nice, no slop at all. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to weld this to there. We're going to slide this tubing onto there. We're going to take this peach 1/4 inch plate. We're going to weld it to that tubing, and we're going to screw it through the sheet metal. Now, I know that sheet metal is kind of flimsy, so on the back of the sheet metal, we made another plate out of the old leftover elevator 1/8 inch plate. We'll put that plate on the back side and we'll sandwich in there. We'll put some bolts in that to give it some structure. We'll probably weld the nuts on the back so that when you screw this together, that it's when we close all this up, you know, the nuts will be part of this plate, and we'll probably tack the plate in there around the back so it's a permanent piece. And then I left enough here on the side that we'll clean this off, and I'm going to run a piece of 1-inch square tubing from the bottom of this 1.5 inches down to here, down like this, to give me some good support, because you know that metal's kind of flimsy. I want to make sure that it's got good support and it doesn't go anywhere. So where to start? I'll tell you what, let me go ahead. I'm going to take this over the bench and weld this together real quick. We'll do that first. Let's see how I'm going to do this. Let's go 1, 2. Okay, it wants to go like that, so that's going to end up out here. I want to make sure that my edges line up here. So I might have to block that a little bit. No, that'll be fine if I weld it right there like that. Alright, let me take these over, get these guys welded up. One for each side. And then we'll let them cool off, and I'll come back and we'll see about welding these on. Then we'll drill some holes, and then we'll do that, and we'll get the tubing cut. So back in just a few. Okay, so we've got this welded to this, and I've got this bolt clamped on there. We're even here. This is laying flat, so that is right where I want to put that thing. So I'm going to go ahead and weld this to this, and I think we may just put like 1 or 2 little tacks on here. I don't want this to be permanently attached to this, but just to kind of hold it in place. Ooh, it's hot. Just to kind of hold it in place. And then I'll scoot over to the other side and we'll do that one. All right, let me set this up. Tell you what, let me weld that and we'll take a look. All right, so that one is on. Let's go ahead and get this one. That's not going anywhere. And I'll put a couple little tacks on the hinge. Work lined up. Okay. There. Now, James Earl Jones died. I'll be darned. Just heard that on the radio. Old Darth Vader. Okay, so now all we got to do is, if we want to take this off, is we unbolt one of these hinges, swing it down, slide it off the pin, let the tailgate down, and slide it off the other pin that way. So pretty easy disassembly once we cut these welds. But right now we're going to drill these holes, and we're going to put those backing plates on there to give it some support in the back. So let me do that, and then we'll take a look. All right, so we got those welded on. I got the plates back here, got the nuts welded on those, so we're bolted down there. And that stiffened it up quite a bit. We still got some, some movement in here, but we're going to put some more bracing in this thing. We're going to make it more stout. So I should be able to cut the top loose and have it fold down now. But before I do that, we're kind of gonna go old school on the latch, and we're just gonna do some chains and some hooks up there. So really all I need is a piece of angle to go out here, and then another piece of angle here, and a hole down through the middle that we can put a hook on, and we can hook a chain on. I'm thinking is all I'm gonna need. But let me look around, see what I can find. I don't know if I got any angle iron around here or not. I might have to just take a piece of square tubing and split it. But let me see what I can find. We'll come up with something and we'll put it on there and see what it looks like. Okay, so I couldn't find any angles, so I just split a piece of square tubing, welded a piece there, welded a piece there. We'll drill a hole right down through there, and the chain will go through there. Same thing on this side. So I've cut these welds loose. I have not moved this thing yet. Let's see if the hinges work. All right. I like it. Definitely needs some more structure. Like I said, we're going to put some 1.5 inch, some 1 inch tubing here, there. I'll put a little weld in the middle, and we're going to cut the rear skin off. You know how we split this? We're going to take that over here, part of the door, and we're going to cut those down to where they're only about 1 inch long on the sides. Then we'll put that over the tailgate on both sides, and in the middle we'll patch a piece in. But this is good. Yeah, that's some side to side movement. I kind of expected that since we're not really having any support on there yet. So how far I'm going to go tonight. Let's go ahead and get these pieces cut tonight. Get them in there, and then just kind of see what that does for the movement, how that stirs it up. So I've got one right here. I'm going to cut a couple of pieces of that, lay that right in there and weld it. So let me do that, and we'll see what we got. Okay, so we got this piece welded in. I got one welded over there. We welded some angle in here, welded there, welded here, and now it is really stiffened up. Got rid of all the flop. So still more to do. Like I said, we're gonna cut this part of the door off, and we're gonna trim that down, and we're gonna make a back panel for this. But for now, might have to bang that down a little bit. Let's see. Where's my banger downer? Oh yeah, that's good. A little better view of that. Yep, I like it. Okay, and then here, this may look like an old kid swing set swing, but it's actually tailgate chains. So that's coming to track. Okay, so that is going to be it for tonight. Tomorrow we'll build the back panel of this thing and put the chains on it, and we'll be done with it. I'm digging it, baby. All right, back on her tomorrow. All right, back on the old tailgate tonight. You ever have one of those projects that you just don't really want to do, but you kind of need to do, that's kind of what this is for me. I need a functional tailgate, but I would much rather be over there. So, but let's just get it done and be done with it. All right, so I think we did pretty good last night. I have changed my mind. Instead of using I was going to use these for the back of that panel, but then I'm looking, and you got this hole, and you got this hole, and you got these holes, and by the time I cut that and trim that and fill all these holes, and it's like, I don't think I want to do that. So I've got a half a sheet of 18 gauge over there. I think we're just going to go the easy clean route, and we're going to cut a couple of squares of 18 gauge and trim it up nice, and go around and spot weld it in a whole bunch of places around there, and knock off any sharp edges, and then paint it with bed coating. So that's the route we're going to go. I may end up putting another brace along here. I'm not quite sure yet. Let me see. I'll tell you what, first thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and measure one of these, get it cut, lay it on there, and see what we got. So let me do that. All right, so I went ahead and put a couple more braces in here. We put one up here, and we put one there just to give me something to lay that sheet metal on. So let's go ahead and put this up here, this piece of sheet metal, and we'll go ahead and tack this dude in there. All right, there we go. That was much quicker, and I think looks better than cutting them other old doors up. I'm using them for the back of this. Let's see how she closes. I'm hoping the heat didn't tweak it. Oh, much more sturdy. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's nice. All right, I can live with that. No, you're not supposed to show the license plate on YouTube. Oh well, there it is. That is nice and solid now. See what the inside looks like. Looks good in here. Okay, so I got a few holes to fill, these slots where the lock was, a couple holes here. I guess we'll go ahead and spot weld those up. I need to sand the whole thing down. Got a little, I got to fill there where the little latch was. What else we got to do? Put the chains on it, put some clear on this side, put some undercoating on the other side. So, yep, I think it's looking good. Let me, let's figure these chains out real quick, and then we'll see where we're at on time. Okay, so I took some of this round rod down here, and I'm bending some hooks, like so. Cut the swing set chain off of there, and we're going to tack weld the chain onto there, and then I got a little bit of welding to little structure to finish there, so let's take a look at that. That ought to burn enough. Pretty good. Sure it's not interfering with the hole for the hook. See how that does. That'll work. All right, we'll do the same thing for the other side, and then we'll take another look. All right, there we go. So she's all done. Other than needing to fill a couple of holes, put some paint on it. Worked out good. Just like the old timey trucks. So that's how you build a tailgate out of junk. So I guess we'll end it right here. We'll get a word from the Lord. I'll get this thing, the last few things on this finished up, and then on the next video we'll take a peek out again now. But you got the gist of the construction anyway. So all right, we'll get a word from the Lord and we'll be done. Hey everybody, thanks for coming along on today's video. Hope you enjoyed that. Tried to kind of take suggestions and show a little bit more of the work that I was doing instead of just the before and after. So hopefully you're digging that. I'm glad to have that tailgate done. It's not really a project I wanted to do, but I kind of needed a tailgate on that thing. So for a message this week, my wife and I went and saw a new Christian movie that's out called The Forge. Awesome movie. I highly recommend it. Take your families to it. Men, dads, grandpas. Take your sons, your grandsons, uncles. Take your nephews. I mean, it is a guy movie for guys talking about the Word of God, which is pretty cool. And the story in it is I don't want to give the whole thing away, but it's about mentorship, and it's about a young man that's I think he's 20 or 21, and he's just kind of lost and not really knowing which way he wants to go in life. And he's hanging around his mom's house playing video games all the time, and she makes him go get a job. And so the job he gets at a sports supply store, the guy that owns it is a Christian man and ends up mentoring this young man. And then The Forge, that the title of the movie is about, is it's an organization that this guy belongs to that is several men all mentoring young men. And at one time, all these men were mentored by this one guy who started this sports shop thing. But just a very cool movie. I don't want to give a whole lot of details, but just go and see it. A couple of Bible verses that I thought were applicable to this. Let's see. 2 Timothy 2, chapter 1. You therefore, my son, be strong in the grace that is in Christ Jesus. And the things which you have heard from me in the presence of many witnesses, these entrust to faithful men who will be able to teach others also. It's a great verse. Another one here, Proverbs 27, chapter 17. It's probably one of the shorter verses in the Bible. It says, iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And it got me thinking of what I was, kind of my goal with the channel is, and the Christian car show that we have started at our church. Not all focused on mentoring young men, but just getting Christian men together to be able to fellowship and to be able to teach each other, and if that opportunity for mentorship with young guys comes up, that's awesome. Because I know when I was growing up and learning to work on cars, and my dad was teaching me, that was kind of a time for a lot of conversations you wouldn't normally have, just talking guy stuff out there, spinning wrenches and working on the car. And I thought, man, what a great opportunity to have that time with a young man, and to introduce the conversation about the Lord and about salvation, about what He expects of us as men, and to be able to put that on display and show that you're trying to do that in your life, and hopefully help guide some other young men towards the Lord and towards this life. So, like I said, go see that movie, and I think you'd be very happy that you did, and take a young guy along with you. So, anyway, that's the message for today. Kind of short and sweet, but yeah, once again, go check it out. This weekend we are having a men's event at our car show. We're gonna have the cars out there. We are gonna have some live music. Me and my brother-in-law and a couple other guys. We're just gonna get the guitars out and the drums and all that, and play some old 60s type car show rock music. Throw some gospel in there. We're gonna have free breakfast. We're gonna have axe throwing. We're gonna have cornhole. So just like 8 to 11 in the morning. So if you're anywhere near Faith Baptist Church in Festus, Missouri, on Highway CC, 8 o'clock Saturday morning, come on out, get some free food, and listen to some bad music and look at some good cars. So hope to see you out there if anybody that's watching this video is picking this up locally. So let's have a quick word of prayer and we'll be done. Father, I just thank you for the opportunities that you have presented, not only to minister on this channel and to bring other friends in to give messages, but that you're taking something that many of us love so much, and finding ways to use it for your glory and to bring people close to you. And we just ask that all of us out there in the car community, that you would just help us to do that, and lead and guide us on ways that we can not only share this fun hobby, but use it as a tool to share what is really important, and that is your word and the gift of your salvation. And we ask this in the precious name of your Son, Jesus. Amen. All right, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment. Hopefully on the next video we'll have another guest message at the end. I got a couple of people lined up, so I'll see if we get some videos from them. But next one will be back on the wagon. So thanks for hanging out.